There are a lot of people, their only solution is to complain about the way things are. And they think complaining about the way things are somehow gonna make everybody feel sorry for them or make everybody else go out and do something that's gonna fix it so their life can get better. I'm gonna tell you something. Your life doesn't get better when it gets better. Your life gets better when you get better.
Yo, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Black Excellence Daily. I'm your host, Sean Croxton. Thank you so much for tuning in. We've got Myron Golden back on the show today. I love today's talk because he's talking about being really freaking good at what you do. Being excellent at what you do, because when you're excellent at what you do, you cannot help but have countless opportunities show up in your life. You write your own paycheck because you're the best at what you do. You are indispensable. And here's the thing. If somebody won't hire you because you're Black, but you're really, really good at what you do, that's their problem. That's somebody who you don't want to work for in the first place, because what kind of business owner would not hire the best person for the job just because of their skin color? Like, that's not who you want to work for. If that person wants to hire the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth best instead of the very best person, that's a bad business owner. That's a situation that you didn't want to be in the first place, right? That person did you a favor so you can take your excellence somewhere else or use your excellence to build your own business. Become the very best. Study, take courses. We got AI now. AI is just crazy. I use AI all the time because AI it's just really sped things up in terms of learning. There are no excuses anymore. I got a quick story I want to share because I think about this all the time as well. I was watching a show and the host had a guest on, and the guest was talking about like all of the incredibly successful Black people, there are historically and also in modern present day. And the host ridiculed this person. It was like, oh, you're always bringing up the exceptions, right? It's always the exceptions. And I'm thinking, well, they're exceptions. I guess that's fair to say, but they're exceptions because they followed the principles that exceptional people follow to become successful. If you read the biographies or if you study really successful people, if you profile them, what you'll find is that all of them had a vision. They had a goal. They put together a plan. They studied whatever it is that was going to be their craft. They studied the industry. They put together a team. They looked for mentors. They plowed through obstacles. They went through the ups and downs. They kept building that vision until it came to fruition. If you ask most people, not just Black people, but most people, what's your vision? They have no idea what it is. So it's impossible to be exceptional or to be the exception when you don't even know what you're doing. That's like getting mad at the Uber driver for not getting you to your destination when you never gave him or her a destination in the first place. So we have to be bolder and claim what it is that we want to create in our lives instead of believing, not all of us, but many of us, believing that either we're not capable of doing these incredible things or that they won't let us. I have an old Instagram post that was very popular, but also a bit controversial. If I remember correctly, it said Sarah Breedlove, who is Madam Walker, the daughter of slaves, became a millionaire in 1913. Imagine telling her how the system is holding you down in 2023, it might have been at the time. And that's real. There are people who faced overt racism, like old school racism that isn't very common these days, right? overt racism who still made it. And we have so many people today talking about, oh, the system's holding me down, right? Like Myron's going to say here today, that's not saying that, there aren't systemic problems. It's not saying that there isn't racism, but you're bigger than that. Like you have a mind, you have inner resources that are bigger than any system. Like go out there and do it. Because this kind of excuse that a lot of us are walking around with, oh, it's the system, is just keeping me down. Like, we got to cut that out. We got to keep moving forward despite the system, because we're never going to get to racism zero. That's like hoping we were going to get to COVID zero. Like everybody knew we weren't going to get to COVID zero, but people were like, oh, we can't leave the house until it's COVID zero. Like that's not a thing. Racism zero is not a thing. You're always going to find examples of racism until the end of time. But just because racism is here doesn't mean that you can't do whatever you want to do. Because again, there are many who have come before you, and many who are working now and successful now, and many who are coming in the future who will succeed despite racism because of this one big thing that they made a decision about. And that is, what do they want? So that's the question for you. What do you want? Because the game doesn't even get started until you can answer that question. What do you want? Myron Golden's coming up.
I am going to help you overcome some things that maybe you struggled with your whole life, especially if you think that your life is not working well because of something, quote, bad that's happened to you in the past. I'm going to give you, so the title of the video is this: Just Get Better, Stronger, Richer, ... or How to Get So Good They Can't Deny You. I love this stuff. So I was sharing with the folks in the studio this morning that my golf game has been trending in the right direction. But if you were watching my Instagram story on Saturday, you know that I was playing golf with my son-in-law, and who, by the way, the last time we played before that, I beat him by 9 strokes. I'm just saying that right now on the video, getting it out there in the open. Okay. I played with my son-in-law. I played with Paul. I played with Ray and me. But I got my new golf clubs on Friday, golf clubs that I got fitted for. My golf club was trending in such a good direction. I thought I'm going to be a scratch golfer by the end of August, right? Not really, but anyway, scratch golfer means I can shoot even par, because I had an even par front 9 at Tampa Palms a couple weeks ago. So I'm thinking to myself, okay, cool. This is going in a good direction. Now I've got new golf clubs, new technology. I can hit the ball farther with this new technology. I can hit it straighter. And Saturday, my second time playing with these new golf clubs, I couldn't hit the ball to save my grandmother's life. It was so sad. I got beat in front of my Instagram following, because I storied the whole thing and then told them how bad I got beat. My son-in-law beat me by 17 strokes. I got beat down. And I can blame it on the clubs. And I can blame it on the fact that I didn't have enough time to practice, but I practiced for an hour and a half before I got started. I can blame it on the fact that I didn't have new golf clubs long enough. But I'm going to blame it on the fact that day I was just not good enough. Wow. That's kind of responsibility, isn't it? I'm not going to blame it on them. I'm not going to blame it on the clubs, because I could have played with my old clubs. Just because I got my new clubs didn't mean I need to play with my new clubs, did it? No. I could have practiced with my new clubs and played my old clubs. But no, I'm going to play these new clubs because it's going to give me an advantage. But it didn't. And just like me and my golf game, it went from trending in the right direction to all the way backwards, like in reverse in 5th gear. Like, it was crazy. That's how some of the things in your life feel, I'm sure. And so my recommendation is just get better. There are a lot of people, their only solution is to complain about the way things are. And they think complaining about the way things are somehow going to make everybody feel sorry for them, or make everybody else go out and do something that's going to fix it so their life can get better. I'm going to tell you something. Your life doesn't get better when it gets better. Your life gets better when you get better. Did I say that out loud? Yeah, I said it out loud. Just get better. I'm not saying there are no opposing forces in life. All of the strength that you have, whatever strength that you have in your life, you have because of opposing forces. If there were no opposing forces, there could be no strength. Maybe that's why God tells us to be thankful in everything and to be thankful for everything, even opposing forces. In the book of Psalms, David said, teach me to know joy and gladness, watch this now, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Not some different bones, but the bones that you've broken, that those bones might rejoice. Let me ask you a question. Do you have the ability to be joyful in brokenness? And if you don't have the ability to be joyful in brokenness, do you have the willingness to learn to have the ability to be joyful in brokenness? Do you have the ability to take responsibility for the way your life ain't working? Are you going to blame it on, it's world? I'm a black man in a white man's world. I'm a tall person in a short person's world. I'm not saying that none of those problems exist. I'm saying if those problems exist, they don't exist in a vacuum just to stop you. As much as the enemy sent any force to stop you, God ordained that the enemy send that force to strengthen you. No, the reason I'm struggling is because of racism. No, the reason you're struggling is because you think the reason you're struggling is because of racism. I'm not saying racism is not real. I have a brace on my leg. I have a metal, you can hear it, metal brace on my leg. When I walk, I have to have this brace on my leg for the time being. I'm working on some biohacking stuff though. Okay, so I'm just saying, because everything can be worked on. Now, everything might not be able to be improved, but if I work on something that can improve, at least I improve by working on it. Just get better. You can complain about the government or you can get better. You can complain about your family or you can get better. You can complain about your church or you can get better. You can complain about your job or get better. You can complain about your golf game or get better. You can complain about, I got bad knees. You don't have bad knees. You have good knees that are doing the best they can with as bad as you've treated them. Did I come out swinging a little bit too hard this morning? Because I can pump the brakes. I can slow it down. So just get better. You know, I used to think, well, they won't give me any opportunities. Great. Do you understand? If nobody will give you an opportunity, that is an opportunity. That's an opportunity for you to get so good that they don't need to give you an opportunity. How good you are creates your opportunity. What? I'm not making this up. These are principles that exist. You think, okay, I can say this. Okay, I'm gonna not say this really loud and intense because I don't like hype, and I don't want people to listen. I don't want people to believe it because I'm saying it with intensity. I want people to believe it because it's truth. Like I can speak to black people in a way that white people ought not, because you haven't had our experience. Does that make sense? So, a white person has no business telling black people to get over the struggle that's residual as a result of the enslavement of our ancestors. That's real, right? No white person, in my opinion, no white person has the right. You haven't earned the right. You can't even begin to understand. However, I'm a black man. I was born in a segregated hospital. Contracted polio as an infant as a result of that after the polio vaccine was discovered. And yet and still, I've had people deny me because I walk with a limp. I've had people deny me because I'm black. I've been denied jobs. I've been denied opportunities. But guess what? I worked on me. I didn't attempt to fix the system because I realize now that the system is not broken. It is doing exactly what it is designed to do. But guess what? If Frederick Douglass didn't need him to fix the system for him to be free, I wasn't born a slave. As badly as I've had it, I didn't have it as badly as he did. Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, they didn't need somebody to fix the system for them to be free and to free other people. Your belief that your problem is the result of a contributing factor that you think is a determining factor is your delusion that could potentially lead to your destruction. And I'm not saying that the opposing forces aren't real. I'm saying they don't matter more than your God-given ability to overcome them. Is that too tough? Ladies, oh, I'm a woman in this man's world. No, stop it. Stop it. There are too many women who've accomplished too many great things in a man's world for you to pretend. And I get it. I'm not a woman, so I can't, I'm not telling you to get over it. I'm just telling you to look in the mirror and stop giving people your power. When you say the reason my life isn't working is because of them, you are giving them all of your power, whoever they are. It doesn't matter who the they are, because they are just they. They ain't me. And bigger than that, they ain't we. We who? Me and God. Better yet, God and me. Y'all ain't bigger than God and me. Goliath, you ain't bigger. David said, Goliath, you ain't bigger than God and me. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego said, Nebuchadnezzar, you ain't bigger than God and me. And your problem is you believe in the size and the power and the will of the opposing forces more than you believe in the God who made you for a purpose and the purpose for which you were made. Stop it. I look at people like Johnny Erickson Tata, who's a quadriplegic, and her ministry has reached tens of millions of people around the world. And you think you have, I've seen, it doesn't matter how much of a struggle you're in. There are people who've done more with less. Even me, there are people who've done way more than I've done, who started out with way less than I've had. How dare I blame it on them because I'm unwilling to change and grow and get better? All I'm saying is this. Here's what I know. You may not be as good as you need to be. That may be true. But you don't have to be as good as you're going to be, because you can get better. You can get so good they can't deny you.
That was Myron Golden. Oh, that was a good talk. His website is myrongolden.com. You can watch today's talk on YouTube. It is called How to Get So Good They Can't Deny You. And one more time, I encourage you to answer that question that I posed earlier, which is, what do you want? It's impossible to get anywhere if you don't know where you're going, so claim it. Start believing that you can do it. Start believing that society will allow you to do it. Even if society won't allow you to do it anyway, right? Watch that whole talk. Again, it's called How to Get So Good They Can't Deny You. I'll see you tomorrow. We got a surprise guest on the show tomorrow. I'll see you then. Peace.